What's up?
Hello. So,
Long time no talk.
yeah,
How you been?
I've been good. And you?
I've been alright, yeah. Let me know how the Discord stream looks. Streaming on Twitch at the same time, and they don't really like each other, you know?
Yeah. It's fine right now.
Okay. Let me know if it starts looking bad or something.
Arriving
Alright.
at watch point ready for battle.
So you've been playing Diva?
Yeah.
Moving up.
It's like the only thing I can play at a decent level.
See.
The
It's
stream's
really
kind of choppy right now.
Hello.
Kinda choppy?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Though we'll do the VOD like this. It's fine.
If it's really bad, I'll just stop the Discord stream. You, I guess, watch on it. I'll delay on the Twitch. Yes, but
Alright.
Hello.
I don't know why. Like when I first started streaming, like they work together. I would drop some frames on Twitch occasionally, but like the Discord stream was fine. But now it's like the total opposite. Where my Twitch stream is like totally fine, and the Discord is like dying.
I think Gabriel's gonna watch this.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wait, his VOD is up next, so I guess it's good that he's here. Big scout?
I feel like I use DM like when I'm not supposed to, and I just drain it too much. When I'm
Yeah. When and how you should use DM is unfortunately like 90% of the hero.
yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk a lot about it probably over the course of this, but I'm not gonna try and list them all out to you right now.
Alright.
So generally speaking, this is a short game. What the heck?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, when this monkey jumps like this, you should try and boop him. How you boop him depends on like what he does, right? But this missiles is fine, but you also want to try and boop, right? So you can either boop him out and try and knock him down if you think he's going to get too much value, right? Like you've got a bunch of squishies behind you or something. But if he walks into the door, you can try to go like to the side and boop him into the corner and kill him. But you generally speaking, like realistically, you're not going to fly in the next like 4 seconds after you, right? Because I don't know how to explain this. You're not at risk of dying to the monkey in 4 seconds, right? What's up, Gabe?
Yeah, I do more damage than him.
Yeah, like you're not at risk of dying, and he's not getting help, right? He's up here, right? So you kind of don't care about whether or not you can back away from the monkey. So you should use your boop to do something, right? Either to knock him away from you, so you get less value, or to knock him into the corner to try and kill him, right? Especially when he walks in. Like when he walks in, this is like free, just boop, dies, right? But you, the missiles is good, but try to use your boosters as well. Oh, that's not you. Try and use your boosters as well. Wait, did you matrix him?
I think I did. Bro.
Oh no, you matrix the Diva's entrance. Okay. Yeah, matrixing missiles is very good. It's pretty much always value, unless like there's something really important that you see. Okay, interesting play from Monkey. Yeah, so don't get too caught up on this. Generally speaking, most teams don't try so hard to contest this. I mean, if they are going to, it's fine to fight it, but like, it's not. This spot isn't actually that important.
Yeah.
It's just that like it's just common for tanks to jump this anyways. Just fight them there, get some early ult.
I didn't see this clear.
Played your blind spots. Yeah. Be careful with this fly. What you kind of want to do most of the time, because like if this Ana's good, she can like sleep you or something. Then you're probably just gonna lose back for that straight up, right? So what you kind of want to do most of the time is like fly at this guy, unload missiles, right? And when you get to about here, just like go straight up, land on top of the box, and then try and finish from above.
Okay.
And that will keep you safe more often, right? You want to end flies on high ground whenever possible. Yeah. Also, do you know how much damage Diva does at this range? Here to there?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like, nothing.
So be careful with that. Like especially when that sleep hits, right? Like don't even bother anymore, right? Just like start leaving essentially, or DM something, or DM someone trying to peek, right? But don't try and shoot them yourself. Like you sort of only want to shoot do like beta reactions, right? So as soon as someone looks at you, you flash DM and leave, right? And then you maybe consider peeking again for either information on like what they're doing, or you're looking for a bomb or something. Um, or like making them keep thinking about you so they don't walk forward as easily, right? But you don't want to just like stand there and shoot them like in the open, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like monkey, right? Like just because you can shoot at this range doesn't mean you should, because a lot of the times at this range you're basically a monkey, right? It's just that you have DM to make yourself safer, yeah, or take less poke. Again, like not again, but I guess again. Be careful ending your flies on low ground, right?
Yeah. The
So
whole
this
team's behind
this
me.
boosters is probably unnecessary. If you are gonna boost, make sure you end either here or up here, right? Because when you go down, you're in the middle of everything, right? And you're sad. And imagine this Mei was like a little bit closer, right? And she
Yeah,
walled
I
you.
would frozen.
Yeah, you'd be dead,
Be
right?
frozen.
Yeah. There's really more. They just at minimum, even if you boost down into the monkey, you get in the habit of just like jerking your mouse straight up so you can land on this thing, right? Sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Need healing.
Again, right? Don't end fly here. Whoop, right? And then when you see that McCree, you're like, oh, never mind, going here. Right? Yeah, like, oh, I mean, I guess that works, but when you're flying at her, right, just shoot her, right, and then fly up, right, and see where she goes, right, and then you can fall down and chase her, right, depending on where she goes. Right, so you went to high ground, but where's high ground relative to the enemy team?
The blue box or the
Yeah.
just the one above the Kree.
Yeah, so when you go for the diva, like fly at her and then go whoop, land here and then try and finish the kill, right? And that way you don't have a McCree doing this to you, right?
Behind you.
My ultimate is ready. Let's do this. Boosters engaged. Routing powers forward shield.
Then you drop.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a bomb? That looks like a pretty juicy bomb, to be honest.
I think I bombed because my mech was low in this fight.
Okay, that's fine. I'm definitely on the personally, I'm always in the too happy to bomb train. Uh, so I bomb when I don't need to a lot. But like I just look at that, I'm like, oh my god, no bubble. There's a bunch of squishies. Oh my god, I just want to bomb that. But yeah, it's not bombing that was probably correct.
Yeah. I think my bomb here works out though.
Yeah. Now, read my bombs are generally speaking not a bad thing. Yeah, so right there, you should boop him, right? Just boop him as he's trying to fly at you, right? And then turn around, right? Like as diva, the reason why a lot of diva players have like higher sense than average is because they need to just like go whoop 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 whoop, just turn around all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like just like hard 180s. So like you just need to boop, instantly fly back, and then like DM so you don't get left, right? Although I think you're 8 to sleep, so you don't have to worry about that. But you know, but like if this guy doesn't land on the high ground, he's actually so sad because his bubble will be in the low ground as well. Like he'll be miserable. It's not you. Oh, that is you. Yeah, that was good, right? It might have even been a bit too far, right? But that was good because they just use bubble, right? And you know all the squishies are packed here, and none of them are playing cover, right? Is there a particular reason you keep ending your fly so early?
I think I just spam for some reason.
Suiting up.
Oh, do you use hold to fly or toggle fly?
I tap toggle.
You toggle? Okay. I would recommend hold to fly. It might be
Okay.
weird at first, and you might kill yourself a couple times. But like I'd play some quick plays and just get used to it. Because like, if like you're waiting for the cooldown and you're mashing the button, right? On toggle you can just like cancel the fly by accident a lot, right? But with hold to fly, you just hold the button, and then when you have fly, it'll start. Make sense?
So it just like starts immediately.
Yeah. So like if it's on cooldown, you just hold shift, right? And then as soon as the cooldown is available, you'll just immediately start flying. You just never let go of shift, right? Until you need it, until you want to actually cancel the fly. It's like that with Mercy dash as well, right? Use toggle fly for the Mercy as well.
I forgot it. No, I hold.
Hold? Yeah.
I have hold on me.
They're very similar. It might take a while to get used to, especially though. Eva
Yeah.
is a bit different, but I'd recommend it. Land on the high ground. You canceled your flight early and didn't even land on the high ground.
Time to raise my APM.
Mega, I like. Focusing monkey, nice. Making your free kill, nice. Okay, maybe not so free. Alright.
Got it. I got it.
We got it. No worries, no worries. You also know the tech that right? That you just did that intentionally, or you can melee and during the start of your fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It ends flat.
Yeah.
I need healing.
You always just go to like one less height, lower level than I want you to. I'll just like go up here.
All
And
right.
if you need to, because again, like you get up here, right, and you realize right as you land here that you want to be lower, a level lower, just drop, right? Costs you nothing, right? So might as well just fly up to the highest possible ground, right?
Okay.
Uh oh. Big response, big deal. That was actually a really good reaction. I might have just let him die because I wasn't paying attention.
Need healing.
You're so close. You're so close.
I'm trolling. I'm trolling.
Yeah, we doing a little bit of trolling here. Yeah, and see how the demon gets to bully your ass because of that? Yeah, feels bad.
Yeah.
Time to raise my APM.
It's fine. Nice. Flank bomb? Ooh, spicy. Hey! Ah!
Burning them down. Bitter. 10 seconds remaining.
Oh, that was kind of a roll. Why you sent me stomp VODs?
Score. 0
I don't think.
to 0.
I think I played another
Switching
place yesterday.
sides.
Or I got rolled. 'Cause I didn't know how to play
Initiating
Diva
match.
and Rush. So I'd probably do that one next.
I assume you guys like app relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Do you just want to go over the other VOD now?
Sure. Let me pull it up.
Man, you guys keep sending me VODs where you full hold.
And this one we got full hold.
Oh no, that's also probably not very good, but I mean it's probably better than actually doing the full
I
holding.
grab and dragon, and I don't know what else to do.
Rip.
Uh, it's in general.
Traveling to Icon. Ready for battle.
I can wall.
Get through this. Time to raise my APM.
Yeah, okay, you're wasting too much time.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see.
Defend
Get through this.
Alright, so that DM's okay for you to cross, right? But then you gotta remember that like a lot of the time you need to help your team rotate, right? So what generally speaking what you actually be doing, right? Is so in a team setting, what you should do is just wait here, right? Assuming they're running like some kind of spam, right? Just wait for your teammates to start crossing, then DM them across, and then walk with them, right? If you take damage, it's no big deal, right? to make sure your teammates don't die. And in a rank setting, it's a little less important because they're not going to cross in an organized manner. But like you team yourself across, right, and then you chill here, right, and then you either think about going this way or something like that. But like you need downtime between your DM, right, between your rotations, right. Especially since you don't actually want to dive with your ball very often, right. Actually, with this comp, I guess you can, but no, you don't need to be like like your ball. And most of the time should not be engaging from like here, right?
Okay. He should
Like-
be going like around.
Yeah, he'll go around, he'll set up, right, and then he'll go in, right? So as long as you're there in time for when he's done setting up, that's when you can. Then it doesn't really matter how fast your rotation is. Make sense? Because he's if he goes in from the front, you can't save him anyways, right? Feel?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Don't feel pressure to get set up fast or follow your ball.
Time to raise
You
my
just need to like
APM.
get your teammate in safely. Please tell me he has fade. Okay, thank God. I mean, it's still dumb, but you know. Yeah. Your primary job is getting your team in safely and also having DM ready for the fight, right? That's it. Okay, so that DM, right? What are you actually DMing there? You can't even see anyone. Like you half DM, and then you're like, I see a Ryan shield.
I thought it went out the door. I'm trolling again. I thought I did it at the door first when I was going around the corner, and then I was trolling.
Oh, you thought? Wait, what?
Cause like you know how it's like DM is like long and like at
Oh.
some distance. I thought
Oh.
it would reach, and then
Thought it would reach to here?
yeah, hit in the moment.
Can't see your DM. Let's see. Unlucky. Yeah. DM short now. It's really short.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunate. But yeah. I mean, like if you can't see anyone, there's not really a point in DMing, right? Like you should know based on the Ryan shield that they're all here, right? So no one should, in theory, be dying here. So you just chill here, walk up to the door, and then you can consider walking out and DMing. Now you feel pressure to DM to peek, right? And first of all, no one's shooting you still, right? And second, now you're just completely out of DM because like you DM'd earlier, right? And now when you actually want to peek and use DM, you have no DM, right? Yeah, you just keep peeking and using DM. You see this? Like look at your DM usage. That's not it. Hang on. So no DM. DM the turret. You're like, oh, okay, never mind, just a turret. Flash DM on a Mercy and an Auto's not looking at you. You're like, oh, okay, right. Use DM as you're peeking, right, against an Ana and a Mercy who's still not looking at you. And now, like, you know how you have no DM, right? Obviously, you didn't really need it here, but like again, do you see how like you're not actually like using? It's not that you're not using DM. It's not that you're using DM something you shouldn't be using. You're just using it non-stop, right?
Just to use it.
You're just using it to use it, right? And you just need to know that like you need at least be DMing something, even if like you end up DMing a Zarya beam or something, right? Even if you use it incorrectly, use it at the right times, you know?
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot you down. Defense matrix activated.
DM was fine because you didn't know if the Hanzo was shooting you. So you DM for a second, and then you saw he wasn't shooting you, but then you ran out of DM because you just had no DM, right? Where is so bad?
Time to raise my APM.
That's a good DM. Consider looking behind you to DM. Alright, you're good.
APM
That DM's fine. 'Cause your Junk was crossing, right? Now you just chill, right? You don't need a peek, and that way you can save your DM because you just use it for your Junkrat, right? Right. If you're if you use your DM, you need to spend time not doing anything, right? Make sense?
Working. Hello?
Okay.
Okay.
You're good?
I think it's working. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but you need to spend time not doing anything if you like DM people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You DM'd your Junkrat, and then you spent the rest of your DM crossing, right? Or like moving up, right? So when you're done, right, just sit here for a second, look at your teammates, make sure they don't need DM, right? And then you can consider peeking again, right? but you felt pressure to DM because you were peaking at low health, right? And then you're like, oh, I'm not taking damage. Let me DM my teammates. So one of them probably needs it, right? And then like you ran out of DM, right? And now your Ryan needs to push, and you don't have DM, right? You're using it early again. Okay, this is good though, right? This is taking a lot of heat off your Ryan.
I need healing.
All right, so this is too early. So there's a couple things you did that were like pretty okay, right, in terms of like long-term results. But the problem is like your team spent resources doing that. So your Ryan held shield and walked forward and took some damage, right? You went up here, you took some damage, used your DM, and distracted them from your Ryan, right? And in response, the enemy team is now backing up, right, because their shield's cracking, right? So you and your Ryan, like I know you're like, this is more for a scrim thing because like this is obviously not a scrim, but
Yeah.
you and your Ryan just need to chill for a second, right? Because like you're low, you don't have any DM, he has like half shield, and you're both down to half HP, right? Just chill for a second, find the corner, and then walk out with fresh DM and fresh shield. Feel?
Yep.
Alright. But instead, like you feel pressure to DM with like what little DM you have left when he's like sleeping, and now like all your cooldowns are getting forced.
Time to raise my EPM.
That's good play, right? You walked to the side to pull them towards you, and then you flew away. A lot of that came down to like how you and the Ryan played like that like this choke fight, and then walked forward after that, right? That's not really on you, but like
Would it just been better to walk left with my Ryan?
what do you mean?
Like when we're pushing forward, just go left, like towards the mini, and just go run, just like towards point.
Yeah,
Instead of
generally,
walking
yeah,
forward towards them.
yeah, for sure. Generally speaking, the Ryan wants to go from like here to like here, right? That's his usual rotation, right? Because that way he spends least amount of time like actively like holding his shield, right? But he got like slept here, right? So there's not really a lot you can do about that.
Okay.
APM 좀 올려볼까? 다시 완벽하게 작동한다. Time to raise my APM.
Mobility increased.
Routing tower forward barrier. Defense time to raise my
I
APM.
messed up my phone here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of spend a lot of that fight not doing anything. I'll be real. You ate the dragon, and then do you know like pay attention to the abilities you use after you eat the dragon. You eat the dragon, right? Now look what you do here. Slow down a bit. Shoot, DM. Shoot, DM. Sorry to beat the whole time. Shoot, DM. Shoot, DM. Shoot,
Time to
DM.
raise my APM. Boosters
Oh,
later.
then you died. Like, you didn't do anything, right?
No, I was just like annoying them.
Yeah, you're just sitting here taking damage and taking your Bap's attention. Which can be, like, not bad, but, like, your Ryan kind of needed it, right? So there's a couple things you can do, right? So, were you playing like this because you knew they had grab or something?
I knew they had grab. Well, I knew they were close to grab. Dragon.
Like, I mean, there's some things you have to, like, so the problem is if you play a waiting game with the Zarya, right, in terms of grab, like, the Zarya's always going to win.
Yeah.
She just shoots you. And eventually you have to do something, right? Because your character, like, when it comes to the grab versus the eat interaction, like, the Zarya is usually not on the clock, right? So what you need to do is you need to put the clock on the Zarya or convince her it's safe, right? So there are two ways to do that. One, you can threaten to kill this guy, right? You can just, like, try and kill him, right? You just boost in, missiles. He has no shield, right? So there's a solid chance you just straight up kill him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just immediately fly back, turn around, put your matrix up, and you might eat the grab, right? Especially if you land on the high ground and she's not expecting, you just put the DM down, right? And you catch the grab. Or right, you can pretend to run away, right? You can like boost away, right, and then come back with the matrix, right? But if you just stand here like this, most Zaryas will just look at you either until they see your DM go down and they feel like it's like they can react fast enough to like your DM going down to like grab without getting eaten, right? Or they'll just beam you and you run on mech and then they'll grab, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to do something that will convince the Zarya to grab, right? Especially since like your team is like Like this guy has no shield. Your Ryan is about to go in. He's going in. And like this guy's no shield, right? Your team's at a pretty significant advantage. You just need to capitalize, right?
Okay.
Duplicating my
Time to raise my EPM.
Yeah, the Ryan survives, your Ryan dies, right? And then you die to like goo, which is like the worst feeling. Like one thing you can even do, right, is you can just like get here, right, and just like fly over here, and now the Zarya has to decide between grabbing and trying to gamble on your matrix, or trying to figure out how to push you, which is impossible, right? If she walks you over here, she dies, right? That's like another thing you can do in order to like gain more time, right, on the clock, right? As you just fly over here, she can't shoot you, right? And then you can just try and read her DM timing, right, or her grab timing, right? And when your Ryan goes in, then you just peek around the corner and help your Ryan, right? Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Nice. Alright, you're spending a lot of time walking, and then when you boost straight at them. Uh, so again, what is in rush comps? Not that you're running rush because you don't have Lucio, but like Ryan Diva comps. What is it like? You know what your primary responsibility is as Diva?
See, no, I really only play Diva with Dive with
I
my
see.
friends in quick play. Like I don't really play Diva with Ryan that much.
Okay, so with Monkey, what's your responsibility?
Diving and peeling.
Yeah. So what would you be diving and what would you be feeling?
Diving supports and peeling supports, and the rest of our team.
Sort of. Generally speaking, with dive, the monkey is supposed to do most of the offensive action with diving. You just kind of help him like dive initially, and then whatever he's not going on, you control, right? So if he's going after a widow, and there's a Genji in your backline, you control the Genji, right? If he's off on a off angle, right, and he's kind of threatening your backline, but he hasn't committed, it's still your job to control the Genji, right? See how that works?
Yeah.
And if like your monkey's diving the Genji, now it's your job to control the widow, even if that's just DMing your support so they don't die initially, right, as a rotate, right? But if she's in range, then you consider diving her, like if she's like flanking or something, right, and not in the standard like really far away positions, right? Then you would like consider like flying at her and killing her, right? But generally speaking, your job is controlling angles and controlling DPS characters, or just anything in your backline really. If there's a Ryan in your backline, that's your job too, right? If there's a monkey in your backline, that's your job as well, right? So if you see this situation where the Hanzo is splitting off from his team, this is your responsibility, not this. Do you see this?
I think I saw him when I boosted.
I think it was slightly before that. Use the grab, which is good. You see that guy right there? Do you see him?
Oh. Probably because I turned around really quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this was.
I think I heard something in the back or something. I don't know. My schizophrenia is kicking in.
What?
My schizophrenia is kicking in, bro.
Oh, do you see this?
Oh. No, what is that?
Oh, it's
Is that
like
a
the
sleeve?
turret. It's the turret that's blowing up.
Oh.
What the? All right. Anyways, but like again, when you even if like you didn't know the Hanzo was here, right? When your Ryan's about to go in, right? When he's pushing in, you need to control this side of the map, right? You need to expand the off angle by pushing out anyone who might be in this general area, right? So what you should do is even if there's no one here, right? You should start walking in this direction, you know? See what I'm talking about? That way, you get here, you can scout, you get a better read when it's going, you can see which way the DPS are leaning, right? And whichever way the DPS are going, you match, right? So if you see their McCree going this way, right? If they have one, do they have McCree? They don't. If you see their Torb going this way, right? Or their Hanzo, then you would like match, right? If you see like their DPS going this way, then you would match, right? And your job is mostly just controlling the angles, right? You're the enforcer, right? Does that make sense? Like your job isn't really to go in with your main tank most of the time, right? You help him go in,
Yeah.
right? And then you control the angle after he's in, right?
It's just I just gotta control the map basically.
Yeah. Like again, this is why like on people like oftentimes talk about like good off tanks or good divas like in Owl, like they very rarely make a bad team good, but they make a good team like very good, you know?
Yeah.
because they don't really set the pace for what their team's gonna be doing, but they help like they enable everybody else after the play has been set, right?
Mhm.
So it's really important. Like, so when you're walking in, right? Like you walk in and you find the angle, right? Is someone on my soldier? No. All right. Is someone over here? Is someone over here? All right. I'm chasing this guy down, right? You don't even have to kill him. You just need to kick him out, right? That's your main job.
All right. All right.
And again, you end your boosters here instead of like like going all the way through, right? And then sitting in position where now you're like, oh, I can see things, right? Oh, there's a Hanzo right here, right? I'm going to shoot the Hanzo. And then you maybe see through the gap. You see like a Torb over here. And you're like, okay, my next boosters will take me like either through here to try and catch him and push him into my team and kill him, or I'm going to go double back and defend, right? Or like you decide like you can't deal with the Torb because he's too far, so you're going to go through and like occupy their honor so your rank can get in, right? That's a bit more of extreme play. And there are times when you can go aggressive, but the majority of the time, like you just want to like protect angles,
Mhm.
enable people to do stuff.
Time to
And
read
the thing
my
is like
APM.
because like this game is so dependent on like people doing stuff. I guess like people controlling angles and making plays, right? That like the other team knows this as well. So if one of your teammates is angling, right, he invites a response, right? Somebody will come deal with this guy, right? So if you prevent them from dealing with this guy, chances are you'll get gold damage and kills just from like defending him, you know? Because like
All right.
people will go to him and you just kill the guy going to him, right? And then now you've won, right?
I need healing. Taking off. I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Enemy turret ahead. Routing tower to forward barrier.
Behind you.
60 seconds remaining.
APM through number that. Heal up. I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
You keep peeking, right? Like you like you can just sit here, right? Do nothing until your line gets to here, right? And then you DM in forward and like boost up maybe or do something like that, you know?
Mhm. Okay.
But like you're just peeking and not using. He's holding shield, and any shot that misses you hits a shield, but and you're still taking damage, right? Or using DM. Right, so you get to half health, feel pressure, use DM. Now you start run away, right? You take a ton of healing, right? And your Ryan doesn't feel confident to walk forward, right? And just because you're just like walking forward and taking damage, you don't need to. This is like a classic Will play. Will's in my chat, so I'm just letting you. So that's why I'm saying it. Now, if you're trying to farm nano or window, it's a bit different, right? But if that's not the plan, right, then that's not a good play. Okay, and now, right, your Ryan took basically like solo push, right, and spent all of his resource doing this, and you're not there to help him at all, right? You barely DM'd him.
Need healing. Time to read my APM.
Yeah. So, oh, whoops.
Need healing.
Whoops. The game's so short that I'm never going back far enough. This game's even shorter than the last game. Like, look at your Ryan try to push, right? And then look when he had DM, right? The problem is because you had to boost all the way back here, you weren't in position to like boost forward and enable him, right? And you're also just really far back, so you weren't close enough to not need boosters, and you didn't have boosters because for how far back you were. See that? And then you're like missiling. I just realized. Like he's gonna trade here and he doesn't have DM, and this is when you need to be able to DM him, right? Because if this nade hits him, he's actually dead, right? And he still needs DM, right? He's getting both your support's E abilities, right? And then he still feels pressured because you still haven't been able to DM him, right? Like effectively. See this?
I'm just not supporting him enough.
Yeah. So I mean, like
basically.
again, like with Diva, like your main jobs are getting your main tank in to do whatever he wants to do. Your Ryan, your Monkey, whatever the case is, right? And then once they're in, right, you control angles, right? And depending on the situation, you might have to control angles first to get your team in, right? So with Ryan, like he needs help a lot of times with high grounds before he can actually walk anywhere, right? So you just like contest the high ground as he's walking, right? And then you drop. Or you control like an off angle, right? So there's somebody shooting over here, and your Ryan has like, how does your Ryan deal with a situation where like there's a Hanzo shooting, pelting him from over here, right? And like a Ryan over here, right? So he wants to walk somewhere. So whichever side he walks, you just sit on the other side, right? So like if he walks this way, right, you would like fly straight at the Hanzo, make sure he can't do anything, right? And then you go back, right? See how that works?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really important that you don't walk out here first, eat 1 billion damage, and fly back, and then have to walk back in. That's the important first step, right? Yeah, now you're like flanking. You don't really have like many options at that point, but like D.Va really is about the small details.
Time to be young to die.
That's why she's so hard to play like at a high level.
Yeah. Why are you missling? You're missling your own Junkrat?
I think I fat fingered right there.
Huh?
I think I fat fingered right there.
Oh, okay. Don't wake him! You're very lost in this fight. Not a lot you can do, but you know. Probably could have played it calmer, right? You can play it. You can land on top of the cart and then duck behind it, right? So you can DM first on this side of the cart, and then drop behind for cover. Or you can like start your fly a little bit further, like deeper into the point, and then like fly up to the high ground, right? And control them that way. Make them like have to split their attention between you and their Ryan, right? Or your ball rather. There's some stuff you can do, but like yeah, it's very common when you don't know what to do as D.Va just to fly at the first thing you see that looks vaguely killable.
Hello.
I wouldn't sweat it too much.
Score.
I think in this one we just get rolled.
Ready
Oh,
for
okay.
Just walk through.
Let's watch the first half of the fight then. See if there's anything particular for you.
Ready.
Oh.
Routing power to forward barrier.
Flight routine activated.
Time to raise my
Alright, again, you're
EPM.
focusing a little bit too much on front. Like your Sigma's got it, right? You need to help Gabe control this side, right? So, let me ask you one thing real quick. If you were to give an odds, if you were to give odds on whether or not this Ryan survives. Okay, well, I mean he's already dead, but like, if in like if you ran the simulation 100 times, right? How often do you think that Ryan dies on that pin?
Every single time.
Every single time. So, do you need to fly back like this?
No.
No. You can just sit here and DM the choke, right? Make sure he can't get help, right?
Okay.
Just lock them out, and that way, Gabe can sit here for free, right? And he can keep applying pressure, right? Instead, the Reaper just runs at him, and you don't have any ability to help him because you went back, right? See this?
Okay. Yeah, I see.
Flight routine.
And now you're gonna go this way, and you're like, ah, not my problem anymore. So Gabe's still not getting help. None of his healers are even looking at him, which is really unfortunate. He even has his hand, right? And you're gonna double back and help the Reaper, right? The Reaper's kind of scary, right? But in theory, he should not be able to get a lot here, right? So you control the Reaper, right? So now what I want to see you do is literally just like book it over here. Get onto this side of the map and see if like whether I'll just like apply pressure, right? You don't need to even do anything, right? Just need to get over here, right? Then you can walk into this room, control the mini, shoot this guy in the back, make this Zarya, and then if the Zarya sticks around too long, you can boop her in and kill her, right? But like this is like, in what role can you actually force this, right? This is good. I wouldn't end the fly here. I'd probably end it like here, right? So you have cover.
Okay.
Again, details, right? I think it's because you're so used to playing squishies that when you play D.Va, you're like, my god, I'm invincible. But like taking
Yeah.
damage is like matters a lot, right?
Get through this.
Yeah, so especially when you're running like this main tankless comp, it's really, really important that you don't overstack with your team, right? Because if you take a team with a main tank like Orion and shove them against a team with no main tank, and you say 6-on-6 run at each other, who wins most of the time?
The other
Yeah, the Ryan team, right? The team with the Ryan is
Yeah.
going to win, right? So what you need to do, right, is instead of like again, like instead of like earlier, instead of like dropping down and like flying back and collapsing the angle, right? Just sit here as long as you can. Like sit here, shoot, use cover as much as you can, use DM, right? Make the Zarya have to walk out here to kill you, right? Or to shoot you, right? Even, right? And then meanwhile, they're getting shot from here, right? They're getting shot from other angles, right? Ideally, your Sig would not be here; he would be over here, right? But we'll see how that goes, right? And then and you can play up here, right? And you can back up over here, right? And you can sit down here and you can shoot them as they walk in, right? Or you can like back up, sit here, and as they try to walk in, you drop down on like a Zen or something and try and kill them. And then you can just like fly, boost through, right? Knock some people around, then fly back up, land on the high ground again, and be a nuisance, right? Your goal is to not take damage and control the angle as long as you can, right? Does that make sense?
just Just hold off angles basically.
Yeah,
and
like it's
control the
really
map.
like. Do you remember when we played like the Hog 6 stuff? And I was just saying tank off tanks should never be together. Always be on high grounds or all over the place, right? Keep flanking, right?
Yeah.
Like
Remember,
this. Is,
remember on Havana?
yeah.
Like
We
hot like oh
go ahead.
continue. I just remember like Daniel would play like the pillar and then Hog would play like the cafe or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
We
that.
stress this like a lot, right? And this is the same
Yeah.
thing except you're running Diva, so it's a little bit less solo kill potential and better space holding, right?
Mhm.
Right. So it's really important that you never stack with your team, right? You don't want to be there. You want to be on the off angle, right? Even if you don't do any damage, you're just stopping people from using, right? That's also really important. And that was good DM, right? Because you don't want to take damage on the off angle, right? That's really important. But this is really bad, right? Just stay here, right? Just chill here. Don't let anyone use it, right? If you need a drop, don't drop into the choke. Drop this way. You see the difference?
I have way more cover there.
You have way more cover, and you're still shooting the same person, right? You're just slightly farther away. That's it, right? You don't want to take damage, right? You have to DM the sleep there.
I need healing.
Right, again, you don't want to spend time
Activated.
near the Rhine, right? So if the Rhine is hard pushing you, what should you do?
Back out.
Yeah, where should you back up to?
The the broken like turret thing or whatever.
You can. It'll give them a lot of room though, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
this is you can. So like depending on how slow your team wants to play, this is totally viable as well. But especially since you're up a kill, and because like I wouldn't trust ranked teammates, like you can just like fly here, grab the mini, fly around, and you're back on high ground. And you're getting range heal again, right? And now you're shooting the Rhine
Oh,
in the back, right? Unless he walks, if
okay.
he walks deeper into here, he's not getting any help, right? And then you can fight him, and you can much more reasonably fight him here, with you getting range help and him getting nothing, right? Than you fighting him here, right? Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
So what you want to do is like fly back up here, right? And then you can shoot them. Anyone who wants to help the Rhine or walk in with him has to take you shooting them in the back, right? If the Rhine tries to push you, he's not getting help. You are, right? And if he just sits in there forever, right? Eventually you can just wear him down just by shooting at him. Or like you can just like maybe like find like an opening on his back line and kill someone, right? But you see how like this exerts pressure and this does not, right?
Yeah. Just by going back there, you give him a lot of space then.
Yeah, and like you can go here. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with this, but in rank you need to have it. You need to make your impact felt, right? Consistently. So it's really important. So like this kind of play to like back up all the way up here is generally a lot better, or to back up forward, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
I need healing.
And then like yeah, if you're going to get away from him this way horizontally, you actually have to get away from him, right? You start walking back into him, like oh hello, more diva I can hit. Wait, they just ignored you. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. All right, I assume that's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah. Okay. So overall, your diva like, I think you conceptually like you have a pretty good picture of what you should be doing in terms of like your buttons and stuff like that. You do just use DM to use DM though, so like that like needs more like attention. Like just make sure you're doing stuff with a purpose, not just to not just to press the button, right? And then you really need to focus on taking less damage. That's number one. Like just playing cover better. And then also thinking about angles, right? I don't know, maybe use your Zen brain a bit and be like, if I was Zen, where would I not want to die from? You know?
Okay.
And like if your
Okay.
Zen's here, what's the one spot he can't control, right? It's this side, right?
Yeah.
So you just control this side for him, right?
Alright.
Alright. Sound good?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, makes sense.
Alright, hope that's helpful.
Alright. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll probably post this up on YouTube if you want to watch it back at some point, but yeah.
Alright. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
See ya.
Alright.